Now, NBC5 responds, and families across our area may have no idea that they're being watched. What's at stake? Possibly their children's public education.
Consumer investigator PJ Randhawa has been digging into this for a while now, how some school districts are using widespread surveillance to enforce residency rules. But what happens when they sometimes get it wrong?
What you're looking at are pieces of a life secretly under surveillance.
Photos of my car while I'm at work, at a local mall.
Someone tracked Tatiana Phillips' life last summer, move by move. Some images appear to come from license plate reader cameras.
Just driving in traffic.
Others taken up close, in person.
So one of the pictures was taken from right here.
Sure was.
So who was watching Tatiana? Residency verification documents suggest the school district hired a private investigator and used those photos as evidence. She didn't live in the district and her kids didn't belong here.
This is my daughter Messiah's room.
But that's exactly where we met Tatiana, in her apartment in Alsip.
As you can see, his room is a little bit more cleaner than hers.
Less than a mile from her kid's school. She says she's lived in this apartment almost 2 years.
They was like really trying to say that we didn't stay here and that I was waking the kids up extra early to commute them to school.
It all started last summer when Tatiana was suddenly told she and her kids were not residents of District 126 and could no longer attend school there. She appealed, submitted evidence, and even faced the school board. But in September, her 6- and 11-year-old kids were kicked out of the school.
The day when they got disenrolled, they sent them home with everything out their lockers and out their desks. And my son said, Mom, why are we not going to that school no more?
For months, we've investigated how District 126 has used license plate reader cameras to verify student eligibility, like in the case of another Alsip mother, Talia Sanchez.
I was told that my car was being tracked, and that was the reason why my daughter cannot go to the school district.
The district says it can't talk about specific families and declined to comment on the cases here. But when asked generally about its recent investigation efforts, the district said in a statement that it launched a residency crackdown after staff suspected some families were lying about where they lived. And while they're flattered so many families want into their schools, they say they're required to make sure only residents attend. We wanted to know how widespread this surveillance is, so NBC5 Responds requested records from 32 school districts across Chicagoland, including some of the state's top-ranked schools. We found 9 of the 32 used license plate readers. Many districts say they don't use the technology for residency checks, instead claiming they're for potential safety concerns on campus. NBC5 Responds is still gathering records about how many districts use private investigators, but so far it's at least 8.
Why do schools take these actions? Why are they investigating parents?
The validity they raise is the amount of money that they spend for each student.
Roy McCampbell, a former school administrator and attorney who's represented families in residency disputes, says roughly a quarter of districts statewide use LPRs, private investigators, or credit-based checks on families seeking to enroll.
They look at your patterns of life, and they try and say your patterns of life don't portray that you're appropriately a resident.
In Tatiana's case, the district pointed to her bank statements showing more Chicago transactions than Alsip and data placing her car in Chicago. McCampbell says districts often challenge parents who work overnights or share cars, leaving legal action as the only option.
All the districts are doing is pushing people around.
Some families, like Tatiana, say they can't afford to fight back. She says District 126 staff arranged to move her children into the Chicago public school system, despite, she says, the family still living in Alsip.
I feel like they really failed my kids.
Roy McCampbell is now representing Talia Sanchez as she tries to enroll her daughter in District 126. Now, investigation firms that sell these verification services say removing ineligible students can save districts upwards of $15,000 per student annually. And they claim they routinely find 5 to 10% of current students in any given school district aren't actually eligible to be there. To see if your child's school district is using this technology, scan the QR code on your screen or visit our website, nbcchicago.com/consumer. PJ Randhawa, NBC5 Responds.
All right, PJ, thank you.